Good evening, my dear students. Today in these sessions, we are going to learn regarding the concept of power. Concept of power. Okay. Power is defined as time rate at which work is done. Time rate at which work is done, or we can say as energy is transferred. It can be calculated by dividing the work done by time, we can say as power. So, SI unit of the power is joule per second, which is termed as watt. Okay. So, what is the meaning of power? Power is defined as the time rate at which work is done or energy is transferred. It can be calculated by dividing the work done by time. So we can say as power. The unit of power in a SI unit of power is joule per second, which is termed as watt. The unit of power is watt. So I am representing here, then you can easily understand. Power is defined as time rate at which work is done. Work is done or energy is transferred. Energy is transferred. Okay. So this power can be calculated by dividing the work done by time. Okay. So this power visible. Okay. It can be calculated by dividing work done by time. Work done by time. So power we can represent in this way, work done by time. So where we know very well, so the P is represent the power, W is represent the work done, and T is represent the time taken in second. P is represent the power, W is represent the work done, okay, and T is represent the time taken in second. So we have to know about what is the unit of power. The SI unit of power is joule per second. SI unit of power is joule per second, which is termed as watt. So we can represent like unit of power. So SI unit of power is joule per second. So which is termed as watt, which is termed as, what we can say here, watt. Okay, which is termed as watt. As well as the next topic is, the most important topic is modes of mechanical energy transport. Okay, modes of mechanical energy transport. The first one we are going to discuss regarding the gear. So gears are tooth member which transmit the power or motion between the two shaft by meshing without any slip. Hence, the gear drive also called as positive drive. What we can say here, the gear drive are also called as positive drives. So in any pair of the gear, the smaller one, what we can say as pinion, and the larger one we can say as gear. What we can say here, gear. So let us think about it. The gear is a driver and pinion is a driven element. Gear is a driver and pinion is a driven element. So gear is a driver because number of teeth on the gear is higher than the pinion teeth. Is it right? As well as the gears are classified according to the shape of tooth pair, as well as disposition into like spur gear, helical gear, worm gear, bevel gear, double helical gear, straight bevel gear, spiral bevel gear, and spiral gear. Is it right? First of all, I will write here first sentence. Gear. Okay, it will be visible. Okay, gear are, so we know very well, gears are tooth member which transmit the power as well as which transmit the motion between the two shaft meshing without any slip. Okay, gears are tooth members which transmit the power, which transmit power or motion between two shaft, by meshing without any slip, by meshing without any slip. Hence, the gear drive also called as positive drives. Hence, these gear drives are also called as positive drives. So in any pair of the gear, the smaller one, what we can say here, pinion, and the larger one we can say as gear. What we can say? We can say as gear. Okay. In any pair of gear, okay, the smaller one is called as pinion. What we can say here? We can say as pinion, and larger one is called as, what we can say here, gear. Is it right? So I think so you observe like this. Let us see. This one is bigger one, and here the number of teeth is mounted here like this. Okay, here one more smaller gear. So this larger gear, what we can say? We can say as gear. The smaller one, what we can say? We can say as pinion. Is it right? Okay, it is visible or not? Okay, I hope so it is visible. Okay, so the larger one, what we can say? We can say as gear. The smaller one we can say as pinion. This is smaller one, we can say as pinion. So the gears are classified according to the shape of the tooth pair and disposition into spur, helical gear, worm gear, bevel gear, as well as double helical, as well as straight bevel, as well as spiral bevel and spiral gears. Is it right? Okay. So gears are classified according to the shape of the tooth pair and, what we can say, disposition into spur gear, helical gear, bevel gear. Okay, like a double helical, straight bevel, and spiral bevel and spiral gear. Okay dear, so I think so you understood. Again I will repeat this one. Gears are tooth member which transmit the power, as well as the gear transmit the motion between two shafts by meshing without any slip. Hence the gear drum also called as positive drum. What we can say here? We can say as positive drum. In any pair of gear, the smaller one we can say as pinion and the larger one we can say as gear. So the gears are classified according to the shape of the tooth as well as disposition into spur, helical, bevel, worm gear, double helical gear, straight bevel gear, spiral bevel, spiral gear also. Is it right? So between two mating gear. The smaller one, what we can say here, we can say as pinion, and the larger one, what we can say as gear. So generally gear is a driver and pinion is the driven element, because the gear is driver because the number of teeth on the gear is higher than the or more than the or maximum than the pinion. Is it right? Okay. So this is the axis of the gear. That is the gear and this is the pinion. And N1 is the speed of the pinion and N2 is the speed of the gear. They rotate in the clockwise direction and this one is rotate in the anti-clockwise direction. That is the contact or meshing we can say. Is it right? So generally we know very well the gear is driver. Gear is the driver and pinion is the driven element. Gear is the driver and pinion is the driven element. Okay dear, so gear is the driver because the number of teeth on the gear is higher than the pinion teeth. Is it right? So gear is a driver because number of teeth on gear is higher than pinion teeth. Okay, so let us think about it. So Vp dash equal to angular velocity of the gear W1 into R1 equal to W2 into R2. So W is nothing but angular velocity of the driver and W2 is nothing but angular velocity of the pinion. So it is represented by W1 2 pi N1 by 60. Okay, W1 we can say as angular velocity of pinion and W2 nothing but angular velocity of the driver into R1. So W2 it is represented by angular velocity of the gear is 2 pi N2 by 60 into R2. This 2 pi and this 2 pi cancel, 60 and 60s cancel. Remaining is N1 into R1 equal to N2 into R2. If you divide this term, N1 by N2 equal to this R2 by R1. So this R2 by R1 again we can represent in this way because we are talking about number of teeth. So R2 by R1 is equal to T2 by T1. equal to T2 by T1. Is it right? Then if the power transmitted by the simple spur gear equal to Fn cos phi into velocity. So this power transmitted by simple spur gear equal to, okay, equal to Fn into cos psi into V. So Fn as it is into cos phi as it is, V nothing but 2 pi n by 60 into T is indicate teeth, M is indicate module by 2. So we know the formula of V. So what is the formula is there? V is indicate that 2 pi, velocity formula is 2 pi n by 60 into T into M by 2. So T is indicate that T is teeth, M is module. So let T, what they indicate? T is teeth, T is indicate teeth, M is indicate module. M is indicate module. Again, next one is belts and pulley. Okay. Belt and pulley. So generally we know very well the friction between belt and pulley is used to transmit the power. Is used to transmit the power. There is always some amount of slip between belt and pulley. So that's why belt drive is not a positive drive. Belt drive is not a positive drive. They having the two types of belt. First one is open belt drive. Second one is cross belt drive. Is it right? So I will represent first point. Then you can easily understand the friction between belt and pulley is used to transmit power. There is always some amount of slip between belt and pulley. So there is always some amount of slip between belt and pulley. Some amount of slip between belt and pulley. So that's why this belt drive is not a positive drive. Okay, that's why belt drive is not a positive drum. So they having the two types of belt. First one is open belt drive, second one is cross belt drive. So types is, the first one is open belt drive and second one is cross belt drive. So this open belt drive and the cross belt drive already we have studied in the kinematics of machine. Is it right? Just I am highlighting regarding open belt drive and cross belt drive. That's it. And the power transmitted by the belt is here. The power transmitted by belt is P equal to T1 minus T2 into V. So if you are taking the common here T1, remaining is T1 but here remaining is 1 minus T2 by T1 into V. So generally we know very well T1 by T2, what we can say, E equal to mu into theta. So if it is reverse, T2 by T1 equal to what we have to represent here, E minus of mu theta. We can represent like this. Okay dear, the same thing I am representing here, T1 1 minus of E mu theta into V. The unit of power is watts. Okay, again next one is we are going to discuss regarding the pulley. So pulley are used to transmit the power from one shaft to the another by means of flat belt, V belt or rope. So this pulley is made of cast iron. Sometimes this pulley is made of wood and paper, and pulley is made of pressed steel as well as it's made of cast steel. So they having the types of pulley for the flat belt like cast iron pulley, steel pulley, wooden pulley, paper pulley, fat and loose pulley. Okay, the first one I will write the pulley here. Okay, so we know very well this pulley are used to transmit the power from one shaft to the another by means of flat belt, V belt or rope. Is it right? Pulley are used to transmit the power from one shaft to another by means of flat belts, or we can say as another one is V belts or ropes. Is it right? So these pulley are made of cast iron, it's made of cast steel or pressed steel, or it is made of wood and paper. They are made up of, first one is cast iron, it's made of cast iron. Second one we can say as cast steel, or we can say as pressed. Okay, it is not visible maybe. Okay, pressed steel and another one is it's made of wood and paper. Okay dear, and so types of pulley for the flat belts, is it right? Like cast iron pulley, steel pulley, wooden pulley, paper pulley, fat and loose pulley, is it right? Types of pulley for flat belt. Which belt here? Flat belt. First one is cast iron pulleys. Second one is steel pulley. Third one is wooden pulley. Fourth one is paper pulley. Fifth one is fat and loose pulley. Fat and loose pulley. Next topic is brakes. Brakes. Okay. So generally, brake is a device. Brake is a device by means of which the artificial friction resistance is applied to a moving machine member. So in order to stop or retard the motion of machine. Okay, in the process of performing this function, it absorbs the kinetic energy as well as it absorbs the potential energy given up by the object and dissipate in the form of heat. So the heat is dissipated into the atmosphere so that the excessive heat of brake lining does not take place. So they having the different types of brakes is available in the market. The first one is mechanical brake, electrical brake, hydraulics brakes. Nowadays we are giving the more priority. Is it right? So what is the meaning of brake? Brake is a one type of the mechanical device by means of which the artificial friction resistance is applied to a moving machine member. For example, if you are riding on a bike, suddenly some person is came in front of you, then you are applying the brake. Is it right? To resist to move. Is it right? For that purpose we are using the brake. As well as in order to stop the vehicle purpose, in order to retard the motion of the machine or retard the motion of the vehicle purpose, we are using the brake. Is it right? So if you are applying the brake on the, if you are applying the brake, due to what happen, it absorbs the kinetic energy or potential energy given up by the object and dissipated it in the form of heat. So the heat is dissipated into the atmosphere so that the excessive heating of the brake lining does not take place. Okay dear, so I will write here, then you can easily understand regarding the brake. Okay, so brake is a mechanical device. Brake is a mechanical device by means of which artificial frictional resistance is applied to a moving machine member. Is it right? The moving machine member in the sense like two-wheeler vehicle. Is it right? To a is applied to a moving machine member. So the main function of the brake is in order to stop or retard the motion of the machine. Is it right? So for example, if you are moving from some place to another place, so suddenly the dog is came, then you applying the brake. So brake in the sense, in order to stop the vehicle purpose, you applying the brake. As well as if you want to decrease the speed of the vehicle, then you need to apply the retard, or you need to apply the slowly motions or retard the motions on the brake, due to the speed of the vehicle will goes on decreases. Is it right? In order to stop or retard the motion of machine, so in this process of performing this function, it absorbs the kinetic energy. So in this process of performing this function, it absorbs the kinetic or potential energy given up by the object. And dissipates it in the form of heat. Is it right? So we know very well the heat is dissipated into the atmosphere so that the excessive heat of brake lining does not take place. The heat is dissipated into atmosphere so that excessive heating of brake lining does not take place. So okay, it's visible. Okay, so generally we understood that brake is a mechanical device by means of which the artificial friction resistance is applied to the moving machine member. So brake, in order to stop or retard the motion of a machine purpose, we are using the brake. So brake, in this process we are performing this function. It absorbs the kinetic or potential energy given up by the object and dissipated in the form of the heat. The heat is dissipated into the atmosphere so that excessive heat of the brake lining does not take place. So they are having the different type of the brakes, like first one is a mechanical brake, electrical brake and hydraulics brakes type. The first one is mechanical brake. Okay. Second one is electric. Third one is hydraulics brakes. So nowadays we are using in the Avenger. Okay. As well as in the Pulsar also. Okay, dear. Next one we are going to discuss regarding the shafts. So next topic is shaft. Okay. So generally we know very well, shaft is one type of the rotating member, and shaft has a general cross section and is used to transmit the power. The shaft is one type of the rotating member. It is mainly used for transmit the power. The shaft may be hollow section, solid in section. The shaft is supported on the bearing and it rotates a set of gears or pulley for the power transmission purpose. So power is delivered to the shaft by some tangential force and resultant torque set up within the shaft and permit the power to transfer to the various machine link up to the shaft. So the power transmitted by the shaft is P equal to 2 pi n T by 60. So n is nothing but speed of the shaft and T is indicate that twisting moment on a shaft. Is it right? So I will write the first point, then you can easily understand. Okay. Shaft is a rotating machine element. Shaft is a rotating machine element. It is used to transmit the power. It is used to transmit transmit power. It is visible properly. Okay. Transmit the power. The shaft may be hollow or solid. Shaft is supported radial on the bearing and it rotates a set of gear or pulley for the power transmission purpose. Is it right? So the shaft may be hollow or solid. So the shaft is a supported on bearing. Shaft is supported on bearing and it rotates a set of gear or pulley for the power transmission purpose. A set of gear or pulleys for the power transmission purpose, for the power transmission. Is it right? So generally we know very well this power is delivered to the shaft by the some tangential force and the resultant torque set up within the shaft and permit the power to the transfer to the various machine link up to the shaft. Is it right? So the power is delivered to the shaft by some tangential force and resultant torque set up within the shaft. Is it right? Within the shaft permit the power to be transferred to the various machine link, to the various machine linked up to the shaft. So the power transmitted by the shaft, so power transmitted by shaft, so what is the formula of power? You know very well, P equal to 2 pi nt by 60. So T, what they represent? T is represent twisting moment. What they represent here? Twisting moment in Newton meter. And we know very well what the N is represent. N is represent the speed of the shaft. Speed of the shaft we have measured in RPM. Is it right? N is the speed of the shaft. Speed of the shaft we have measured in RPM. So generally we know very well, again I will repeat this shaft. The shaft is a one type of the rotating machine element. It is used for transmit the power. It is mainly used for transmit the power. The shaft may be hollow or it may be solid. The shaft is supported where? On the bearing, and it rotate like this is one bearing, and the shaft is supported on bearing, and it is rotate a set of gear or pulley for the power transmission purpose. Is it right? So the power is delivered to the shaft. Power is delivered to the shaft by some tangential force. Which force? The some tangential force and resultant torque, twisting moment. Is it right? Set up within the shaft permit the power to transmit to various machine link up the shaft. So the power transmitted by the shaft, we have the formula is P equal to 2 pi nt by 60, and N nothing but speed of the shaft we are measured in the RPM, and the T is twisting moment we are measured in Newton meter. I hope so no one is having the doubt regarding this second unit. So in the next unit we are going to discuss regarding the chemical energy in the unit third. In the unit third we are going to learn regarding the chemical energy, as well as we are going to learn regarding the combustions of fuels and the combustions of coal, as well as we are going to learn regarding the boilers, as well as we are going to learn regarding the classifications of the internal combustion engine, as well as heat equivalent of the BP we are going to discuss in the third unit. As well as in the third unit, we are going to discuss regarding the electrical energy. Okay. I hope so. In the second unit, no one is having the doubt regarding the second unit. If you have the small doubt regarding the second unit, please write down in the comment box, and please don't forget to subscribe my channel. Thank you.